Welcome to Tennis Match, the channel where global tennis comes alive through analysis, emotion, and star power. And joining me today with razor-sharp insight and zero filter, here's the Oracle. Hey there!
Always a pleasure. And beside me, well, the man who never misses a trend, the strategist himself. Let's do this.
Okay, big question right off the bat. Has Sinner officially dethroned the old guard? Or is Alcaraz still the future? What a question, huh? And what a time to be a tennis fan, because you are witnessing, one of the most significant shifts on the ATP Tour in, 2 decades?
Easily.
The Big Three era, which, was just monumental shaped tennis for so long, it's definitely fading. And in its place, we've got this truly compelling new rivalry.
Yeah.
It's defining the present and, absolutely shaping the future. We're talking, of course, about Jannik Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz.
And what's really compelling, I think, is just how quickly these two have cemented their spots at the top. Right now, Jannik Sinner is ATP #1. He's holding a remarkable 12,030 points. And right behind him, ATP #2, Carlos Alcaraz with 8,600 points. These aren't just numbers on a page. They really show a new hierarchy forming right at the peak of men's tennis.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you needed any more proof of, how intense this rivalry is, just look back at the recent Wimbledon final. July 2025, Sinner defeated Alcaraz. That match just completely underscored the intensity, the high stakes, every single time these two step on court.
Oh, that Wimbledon final was, it was a masterclass. And it really put a spotlight on Sinner's incredible statistical leap this season. Think about this. He's undefeated across his last 10 matches. That's just a dominant run.
Incredible.
His 2025 record, it's astounding. 26 wins and only 3 losses. That works out to what, nearly a 90% win rate?
Just unreal.
And when you watch Sinner play, you see what we kind of describe as robotic timing and calm precision. It's almost unsettling how consistent he is, how accurate.
It really is incredible to watch. McEnroe had that vivid comparison. He said, the Sinner-Alcaraz rivalry is Beatles versus Stones. Carlos is flashier, but Jannik's ball striking is just different, pure. So what's the real strategic implication of that pure ball striking? Does it genuinely disrupt opponents in a unique way?
Oh, it absolutely does. Yeah. When you combine those stats we just mentioned with McEnroe's point, it highlights these tactical gems, like his early timing.
Taking on the rise.
Exactly, taking it on the rise, and his absolutely precise ball placement. This isn't just hitting hard. It's a kind of precision that literally robs opponents of milliseconds. Crucial time to react. It forces them to guess depth and angle. It just denies them rhythm. And ultimately, it leads to unforced errors they wouldn't normally make. It's just incredibly tough to counter.
Right. But, despite that recent Wimbledon final loss to Sinner, Alcaraz, he still remains this absolute magnetic force in the sport. His charisma, his game, it just draws you right in.
He is. And Andre Agassi's praise for Alcaraz, well, it really sums it up, doesn't it? He described him as having Novak's defense, Roger's touch, Rafa's power. That's basically the ultimate compliment. A player with, no discernible weakness.
Pretty much.
And his own quote after the final went viral, and it showed that mutual respect, He said, "We push each other to get better." That says a lot.
It does. So, okay, Agassi's praise is remarkable. Novak's defense, Roger's touch, Rafa's power. How do those incredible attributes actually translate into specific tactical advantages on the court? Can you maybe break down some of those tactical gems for us, for Alcaraz?
Sure. For Alcaraz, you see it in his exceptional transition defense. He can turn a defensive slide into an aggressive offensive shot in, the blink of an eye.
Right. Catches guys flat-footed.
Totally. Catches opponents flat-footed, reclaims the initiative instantly. Then there are his varied touch shots, those delicate drop shots, often hit from way deep in the court.
It gets you sprinting.
Exactly. It not only forces a sprint, but completely resets the rally. It disrupts an opponent's rhythm when they're just expecting pure power. And then, of course, there's his powerful serve placement. So when you contrast that multifaceted game with Sinner's, clinical precision, it really does feel like a clash of styles.
It absolutely does, yeah.
Well,
if Sinner is the metronome, with that unwavering pure ball striking, Alcaraz feels like the improvisational jazz musician, bringing flair, variety to every point. I sometimes wonder, actually, if Alcaraz's flashier, more expressive games may be more appealing to newer fans coming into the sport.
Could be.
While Sinner's clinical efficiency might appeal more to the purists, the longtime watchers. For me, that sort of rock and roll energy Alcaraz brings, even when he loses, that feels like the true future of fan engagement. What do you think?
Well, perhaps, but relevance doesn't directly win you Grand Slams, does it?
Ooh, fair point.
Sinner's clinical efficiency, that's the stuff that builds dynasties. Look, Spectacle sells tickets, absolutely. But that unflappable precision, that's what builds legends. So the future might be about dazzling moments, sure, but Grand Slam titles, they're built on that kind of unflappable precision. Which legacy do you think truly defines the sport in the long run?
A tough question. But is a legend really a legend if no one's watching? It's a fascinating debate, honestly, and one that's definitely going to play out all season. But okay, while Sinner and Alcaraz are dominating the headlines, it's crucial to remember they're not the only story in men's tennis right now. We need to look at the broader shakeup happening through the rest of the ATP Top 10.
Oh, indeed. It's actually remarkable how many dynamic players are making their mark right now. So at number 3, you've got Alexander Zverev, sitting there with 6,310 points. He's been incredibly reliable, consistent, and he's clearly looking to break into that elite Sinner-Alcaraz duo.
Yeah, you can feel his ambition there.
Then, number 4, Taylor Fritz. 5,035 points, and he is really leading what looks like a genuine American resurgence in the men's game.
You can absolutely feel that American wave building, can't you?
Yeah.
And then we have this lefty surprise package, Jack Draper. Comes in at number 5, 4,650 points. He has a truly powerful serve. He could just dismantle opponents. He's one of those guys you just never want to see across the net from you.
Definitely not. And still right there in the mix, at number 6 with 4,130 points, is Novak Djokovic. His continued presence, strategically targeting only the biggest stages. It does raise a fascinating question, doesn't it? How much longer can pure experience and peak form outmaneuver the raw energy of these younger guys?
That's the million-dollar question.
Then Lorenzo Musetti, number 7, 3,350 points, showcasing that elegant one-handed backhand, and he's had a real breakthrough into the top 10 this season.
Then Rune, number 8, 3,340 points. He's just electric on court, isn't he? Almost like a live wire. You never know quite what he's going to do next. But that question mark always seems to hang over his consistency. Is it like a mental hurdle, or is he still just refining his game?
It's hard to say. Rounding out the top 10, we got Ben Shelton at number 9, 3,330 points. Definitely a fan favorite, known for his charisma, that explosive game.
Huge energy.
And finally, Andrei Rublev at number 10, 3,110 points. His power baseline game just consistently keeps him right there among the best in the world.
It's such an exciting mix of players right now. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, you just have to look at the notable rise of someone like Flavio Cobolli. Jumped to number 19 from outside the top 100 back in January. That right there is kind of proof that this youth wave is just unstoppable.
It really is.
It really shows that the days of maybe just 2 or 3 names dominating are long gone. This feels more like a tennis fan's buffet. So much talent.
And that unstoppable youth wave, it isn't just about what happens on the court. Wimbledon 2025 gave us a really clear cultural signal, I think. We saw A-listers, Orlando Bloom, Paul Mescal sitting there in the stands. It showcases a much broader interest beyond the hardcore tennis fans.
Exactly. And that cultural presence links directly to the ATP Tour's renewed global appeal. It's not just the tennis fanatics anymore. It feels like the broader public is taking notice again. And they're drawn in by the excitement generated by, primarily the Sinner-Alcaraz rivalry, but also this whole youth movement we're seeing across the board. So, okay, let's bring it home. What does this all mean for the rest of the 2025 season? What really stands out to you looking ahead?
Well, the immediate impact, obviously, is on that year-end number 1 race. Sinner has a pretty significant lead right now, points-wise.
He does.
But Alcaraz's ability to bounce back, his sheer talent, it means it's far from over. It really raises an important question. Can Alcaraz close that gap with his, magnetic force and maybe finding another gear? Or will Sinner's clinical dominance just hold strong?
And that leads straight into the implications for the upcoming U.S. hardcourt swing, doesn't it? Sinner's precise flat hitting, that tends to thrive on hard courts. But Alcaraz's explosive all-court game, plus his willingness to attack and mix things up, that could give him an edge too. It's going to be just a fascinating test of wills and styles on those courts.
Yeah, and I think what's truly transformative here, maybe the bigger picture, is that this new rivalry and the broader youth wave, it isn't just about who wins the next Grand Slam or who finishes year-end number 1. It feels like it's about drawing in new fans, shaping the very identity of the sport for years to come, and making sure tennis remains this compelling global spectacle. This isn't just, a simple changing of the guard. It feels more like a redefinition of what it means to be a champion in men's tennis today, where, raw talent meets strategic precision, and it almost demands that you pick a side. It's fascinating.
Couldn't agree more. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that subscribe button, drop a like, and definitely tell us your take in the comments below. Tennis Match will be back soon with more stories from the World Tour. See you courtside.